So, what I like to do is I like to show you some different language stuff that is good to keep an eye on during silly exams. Well, exams that you have to write anyway. So we're looking again at sample A, exam from WAM 10, and just a couple language things to go over, mostly particular words. So I picked out a couple questions and some things that I've noticed that maybe you want to consider before going in and writing the exam. First, the word estimate. This one throws a number of folks off because up to this point in math, basically all the way up to grade 9 in BC math anyway, you usually find almost exact values for 90% of what you do. So it's difficult to go from finding exact values for everything, like 20 minus 10 is always 10, to all of a sudden doing this thing called estimating. Don't forget that estimating is true estimating. When they tell you to estimate on the exam, they really mean what you need to do is you need to guess. I mean, you're actually just guessing. Now, of course, you're making a best guess. You're not doing a wild guess. But for this question, a pair of scissors is 20 centimeters long. Estimate this length in imperial units. Now, if you were to convert it using your conversion table, these values actually wouldn't come up exactly, because what we have to do is we have to estimate. So it's going to be an approximate value. It means it's pretty close. If you were to convert, you're going to find the closest answer is 8 inches. Okay, so let's skip down. That's estimating. Don't forget, oh hey, there's estimate again. Estimate. And also, when they say this diagram is drawn to scale, they mean they have specifically calculated that DBE here, this little angle that it forms, is indeed, you can find it using a protractor just on top of the paper. It's kind of neat, actually. So, yeah, they didn't have that back in my day. Okay, now let's go down. There it is. Okay, this one. Which property proves that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF? Now, what they're getting here, and if you look at all the answers, AB over DE equals AC over DF. AC equals ED. Something equals something, something equals something. When you see the word proves, now it's not all the time. Actually, I would dare to say that you could just about say all the time. But let's just say high majority of the time, when you encounter the word proves in a question, you want something to equal something else. This question is rather difficult because everything equals everything. For each individual answer, A, B, C, and D, something is equal to something else. And therefore, something always proves something else. But the question is asking which property proves, or you could put in the word equals. So the question could sound like this. Which property equals triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF? Which property? So in this one, I think I actually went over this in my last video, but just in case I didn't, AB over DE, AB, that's from right here to right here, over DE, from right here to right here. That looks like a short side of a triangle. That also looks like a short side of a triangle. 1 to 2 is equal, that's AB and DE, is equal to AC. Here is A again. Here is C, A and C. That looks like almost a long side, but not quite the longest, the medium side. AC over DF. D is right here, and F is right here. And again, that looks like the middle length of the triangle. So 1 over 2, AB over DE, 1 over 2, is equal to AC, 2 over 4, DF. Well, that's actually true, because 2 over 4 reduces down to 1 over 2. And again, we find that the answer we're looking for is A. How nice is that? You can check the other ones if you want, but to save time, I'll just tell you that it's A. Okay. Let's scoot on down here. There we go, that's what I was looking for. This, perhaps being one of your first provincial exams in math, this is fairly common. A question like this, what they do is they give you a question, sometimes even a statement like they've done here. They tell you to do something, and then they give you a chart, sort of a table actually, sorry, a table, and it's a ranked table, and then they ask you to rank the ranked table. Well, how nice is that? Interestingly, they can ask you to rank it, or they can ask you to organize it. They both actually mean the same thing. What they want you to do is they want you to interpret the information in the table, and they want you to determine some sort of order. Rank, organize, or order are the words that they will use, and all you have to do is you go through the Roman numerals here, and you determine the order from smallest to greatest here, or from lowest to highest here, the order that the information in the table should go. It's almost never already in order. That pretty much never happens, just so you know. Okay, so those are some pretty key things to think about here. Let's just take a quick look. Rank the following types of angles from smallest to greatest measure. Okay, well, let's see. This one starts with a 1, that one starts with a 1, that one starts with a 3. That one starts with a 3. So 1 is acute, 3 is reflex. Reflex is really big. Acute's really small. It's acute angle, acute angle. Oh. So it's either A or B, because it starts with acute for sure. They both go 4, then which is smaller, 2 or 5? An obtuse angle or a straight angle? A straight would be 180, because it's just a line. That would go from one side, boop, to the other. Obtuse isn't necessarily, actually no, I would say that obtuse is smaller. So A is our correct answer. Oops, I highlighted all of them. There we go. A is the right answer. And 47, this one, what you'd have to do is you have to convert everything into the same units. So I'd suggest converting this one to kilograms to save you a bit of time and effort. So double this to get to 1 kilogram, reduce this by 2.2, or divide rather by 2.2, and divide this one by 2, and at the same time divide this by 2.2 and divide this by 2, and then you'll get your per unit price, or your just unit price here, and then you'll find the correct answer. I'm not sure what it is, but my last video showed you how to find the answer sheet if you'd like. Now I'm going to run down to the data sheet. Oops, sorry, okay. Okay. There we are. Oh, good. So one thing I wanted to note on your exam is your data sheets are nice. They don't seem very nice. They seem rather daunting, but they are nice. They're full of information. They have all kinds of info. Some people, when they space out during exams, and by the way, everyone spaces out during exams, that's a good, healthy thing to do. You should. I encourage it. I've spaced out during every exam. Not for the entire exam, but for a good portion of it. Or, you know, a small portion of it if I'm doing well. And essentially, it gives your brain a break, because sometimes you need to take a break and come back to a problem. This is fairly common in life. Unfortunately, your exam's only 3 hours, so your break can't be that long. But when you are on your break, sometimes it's nice to just read through your data sheet. And I wanted to point out a couple things. Your data sheet is rather helpful. Under formula for trigonometry, it says put your calculator in degree mode. This is extremely important. If you don't do this, every answer you find using anything with angles, you're basically going to get wrong. Sine, cos, or tangent, I mean, they're just all, it's not going to go well for you. So make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. And again, handy to read your formula sheet. Nothing else really too interesting. Oh yeah, but then we get to the like intense data sheets with sort of simulations, if you will, of tax things that you're asked to do and that you've learned about throughout the year. But again, there's some neat things. So like, for example, I had a student ask how many weeks there were in a year. And I was a bit alarmed because I thought, oh no, like that's a vital piece of information going into the exam. But it's right here. It says it right here on your data sheet. So just in case you ever need it, boom, there it is. 52 pay periods a year. And if this is a weekly pay period, then there's 52 weeks in a year. Nice. For the actual data sheet itself, pay is the amount of money that you take in. That's intake of money. I get paid. That is not money that you pay to someone. CPP, however, is money that you do pay to someone. Well, some being, some group, the government. What's it called? You pay into, but I don't want to use the word pay. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'll come up with a synonym later. You put money into CPP, the Canadian Pension Plan. So if you make between $358.11 and $358.31 per week, then you must contribute's a good word, $14.40 to the Canadian Pension Plan. Okay? So money that you intake, money that you output, CPP. Money that you output is CPP. Okay. Scroll down a bit. Oh yes, this is good. Insurable earnings, that's intake. That's money that you intake. EI premium, that's employment insurance. And a premium is something that you pay into, or a contribution. If you make between $347.11 and $347.68, you must pay a premium. You pay into, you contribute $6.01 per week. And, yes, okay, so the last one I had on your data sheet is tax deductions. Tax deductions are, no one likes taxes in general, but tax deductions are no fun. Write-offs are nice because they're things that you don't have to pay in tax. However, tax deductions are deducted from each pay. Typically in a question, you'll be told which federal claim code to use. So you use one of these numbers. They're ranked 0 through 10. Usually you use something between like 2 and 4 because they're full columns, as you can see here, and they're kind of handy to use. So you'll be told to use a claim code. So you find the column, and then you go down and you look by your weekly pay, your intake of money. As soon as you find your intake of money, you line it up with your federal claim code. So say we're federal claim code 2, and say I make $400 a week. So 400 is between $399 and $403. So I'm going to hop over to claim code 2 right here. I have $21.65 deducted from each weekly paycheck. Okay, so that's some quick language, that's some quick interpretation of data tables, and I hope that that was just a bit helpful.